I think we're live. This is going to be stream 002. Wanted to just share some updates from yesterday. I was pretty down about my tweet yesterday, and it's been the best tweet I've ever had. I got 100 followers out of it. It went through basically everything each of the different phases of my journey learning to code. I think the two keys there is one, it's a story, and it's something that people want to do, and I've done. But then I think you can't. If I would have just shared that story, it wouldn't have been like it wouldn't have worked. What I also did was tag people who I learned from throughout the tweet thread. So you can see Ryan Carson here, and he actually was one of the people that I tagged that retweeted it. I got this from a friend I've been hanging out with on Twitter recently named Alex Lull, AlexLull. I'll show him in a second. But basically, I just went through this tweet. It ended up doing really, really well. The engagement's like incredible. You can check out your tweet activity here. This is like 27% engagement, which is just awesome. If you ever want to look at your Twitter analytics, you can just go to analytics.twitter. This is available for everyone. And you can click on tweets, and this will show you kind of how each of your different tweets are doing. So you can see like when I'm tweeting or I tweet like a thread, I get so many more organic impressions. And then here it just went crazy, and I shared basically my journey around coding. So I'm starting to learn that people maybe are interested in the journey of learning how to code and how to make that easy. So here's kind of what it is. 27% engagement rate is just incredible. So I think I can even click in here. I haven't done this yet, but see kind of what's come from it. I don't totally know what all these mean, but you can just hover over them. The profile clicks is like a big one. I have some that are my other top tweets here, like there's where does it say top tweets? I was looking at this earlier where I had a top tweet that basically it's like my second tweet, this one from the last 28 days, and it got saw by a lot of people, but only had 75% engagement, right? So no one's really looking at this. When I click in the activity, it only gets like 15 profile clicks. And then I can even see like this one here, like I got 5,000 people view it, but it didn't matter. So what I started to think was like 7 profile clicks, like nothing. So what I'm started to see as I kind of went through here, the ones that are getting the big engagement, I'm providing some resource and summarizing it for people. This is Alex. I'll show him before I leave, but basically putting some type of like giving a quick summary of something in a comment to someone else's tweet, and then giving a link somewhere or adding a photo of someone. More so adding the link is really what's bumped up that engagement. And then also people just love reading through the threads. Like if you can make a thread, I'm just finding that people engage with those way, way more. So those are some key takeaways from today in the Twitter world. The biggest thing here is like just don't give up. I've been trying out this thing forever, but I really started to commit like beginning of August. Yeah, so you can see like I didn't start here. I kind of first day I started tweeting was on the 16th. Where are we at now? We're like the 24th. So in a month, I've added like over 150 people to my following, which isn't that much in the grand scheme of it, but it just feels so good, and I really enjoy that I'm starting to create on this platform and not just consume, because I mean I've learned so much from it, but getting in and actually creating on it has been wonderful. And just as you get started, you start to find people who are really helpful. And I mean, one of the first people that I think is most helpful and doesn't have much of a following right now is this guy Alex, and I wouldn't share him unless he's great. But yeah, Alex Lull. Here's his handle if you want to look him up. But he basically tweets about how to share your stuff. He had one really big tweet that I saw, and then I kind of saw that he only had like 800 followers. So he's growing quick. And at that point, I kind of was like, this guy's gonna get big, and we're kind of at a similar phase. Like he's double where I am. I like to think of him as a similar phase, but I'm not. But we engage with each other, and that's big because I think he's got a really bright future. And to be kind of engaging with the people that are in a similar phase as me right now as they grow will be huge. And I hope I also just keep doing that as I keep going here and showing up at every day. And if I get to a larger amount, to make sure that I also engage with the people that are kicking butt, that are down in the lower range, because helping them get big will be awesome. And then making them larger, you can just kind of have more of a crew that helps each other out. So cool that tweet went well. I'm like so pumped on that. I've almost needed that to happen. You tweet for so long and then it doesn't work out. So new focus is really kind of going to be around some more stuff around helping people on their journeys in coding maybe, and also tweet threads, and then commenting with like a link to an extra resource for people. Those seem to do the best. So my posts on indie hackers went pretty well, and I've kind of learned in the last few days that, or the last like 2 months, that it's really about like, you can't just post something in one place and expect it to get picked up. You got to be posting it everywhere. And when you post it everywhere, it doesn't mean like I just post a link to indie hackers in that tweet, right? Like I tweeted the whole thread, and I had to edit the content and go through it, and it takes me a lot of time. But it allows people to read it within their platform. They don't have to click somewhere else, and that's not what they're trying to do. So just give them everything up front. So I posted it in both those places yesterday. This one has done the best that I've ever done. There's people interested in it, which is great. And I mean, I really went hard on this post, and I'm going to try to see if I can figure out one of these to do each week. And they're not going to be this good, but maybe one in every 10 or so I can get that does something like this would be wonderful. And then I have a library of really high value posts. And in between kind of my once a week posting, I want to make sure I post like a small thing once each day so I can keep this kind of number going up. I'm showing up each day, and I really think that that's something that's becoming a differentiator between what I'm doing now and what I was doing like 2.5, 3 years ago. Is I'm figuring out that it's just about it's not about producing good content. It's one, you got to produce epic content. You have to promote it to all the places where everyone else is. And that doesn't mean sharing the link. That means you literally write it all out. And I'll show you what I did in dev.to. But also showing up each day and having like a small little thing. You kind of do like 6 small ones and 1 big one. I think is a really good way to kind of promote yourself. And then down at the bottom of the tweet thread, the bottom of the article here, I basically say like, thanks, like this did take me a long time. If you'd like to say thank you to me, please retweet the thread on Twitter. And then I give them the thread here so they can see it, and they can just pop right in here or check out my page. I'd be curious to see how many people have come from indie hackers, but I learned this from Harry Dry, who runs Marketing Examples. If you don't know Harry Dry or Marketing Examples, you gotta follow. They're unbelievable. Marketing Examples is just absolutely incredible, and I learned so much. I actually, before I posted on Reddit, because I haven't done a ton of stuff on Reddit, I found a Marketing Examples post on Reddit and how to post on it. I'm sorry. No, I was gonna post on Hacker News, but I learned that it's probably not the best place to post that. But yeah, here it is: how to get 30,000 visitors. And he just walks me through like step by step of like what makes up a good post on Hacker News. So I think one of the things that I thought was insanely cool from this article that I really need to double down and do this more is I'm commenting on these tweets that are really like great, but he talks here about like how underappreciated comments are and how you don't have to write the post to get a bunch of people to come to a certain website or location. You just need to be watching what's going on every day and getting and then leaving a super valuable comment on the posts that are going crazy, right? So like someone can write like an epic post and you can just basically see it and the ultimate is to see it like really quickly. But if you have a comment that is super valuable and people really like it, gets upvoted a bunch, and you can leave some links in there. And actually in Hacker News, you can't leave a link in the post itself. So you can only leave a link in the comments, which is really funny. So the other part of this is like I'm commenting all these ones on Twitter, which is kind of where I'm trying to grow my following right now. I want to double down there. But these posts have, at least I think they have a longer shelf life. So if you're finding these places that have a longer shelf life, and people will be returning to these articles, and you can leave a super valuable comment here and link out to those ones, just like I was saying before, you can really stand out and get a lot of people kind of coming long term. And the more that you show up on these, the better chances that you have that it's going to work. So don't expect like my Twitter, it shows you those analytics, they're shit for like, I don't know, I've been doing it 35 days. I finally got one. Like I had one other tweet that went crazy, and it was like almost like a semi-embarrassing tweet that I tweeted about like Jack Butcher, and I was like, I'm not giving up anymore. And Jack Butcher has this really cool like he does these really cool little designs. I'm not gonna be able to find it, but it's right here in the background. It says like, this is pointless, and then this goes up. So I basically just said, I'm tired of giving up here. I know I get to here. Like I feel like I get there every time. I feel like I'm just getting to a point where I kind of found this like first little blip, and now I'm just gonna pop back here, and each one of these days will go by, and then maybe I'll get back to this again, or maybe I'll have to do 20 more of those to get like this next one. But doing this is pointless, and I'm so sick of doing it. And I wrote that tweet, and I was totally serious, and it's funny, it took off. But like, that's not what I want. I don't want those tweets to take off. Like, I want these ones to take off. So I'm glad that this one's resonating. And this is my first time finding something, which is nice. So I actually went over here. Let's see how it's doing on Reddit. Another thing I've been doing that I probably need to stop doing as much of is like, I sit here and refresh these things, because it gets exciting when I've never had it happen before. And like 9 upvotes, it's on the front page for a little bit, even though I posted it 54 minutes ago. Like that just feels cool. And like in here, you'll see that I wrote the whole thing out, right? So I copy pasted it for my Indie Hackers one, but once it was in there, I had to kind of tweak it a lot and change it up. And then I'm checking these every once in a while, and people leave comments, and other people can see that I'm actually engaging here. Also in my bio, I don't know if you can hover over it. Yeah, it doesn't show up when you hover, but in my bio, I just basically put that like I'm working on, like you can put the link to whatever you're working on here. So like, come on, oh, here it is. Sharing my work daily at like my Twitter, right? So if you have a website or whatever, you can just link back there. And if people are interested to learn more about you, they're probably going to click on your profile. And then you can, from there, if they want to take another step in like what you're saying here resonates with them, which I probably do a better job of, they can pop over there and check it out. So put that link in there. And DevDoc 2, embarrassingly, I've done nothing here, and I just went for broke to see if anything happens. I'm really curious. I've never like seen anything go. I've never really used this at all, but I do think that this is a place where I need to be engaged more, and I should probably I'm not really working on that. I'm kind of working on remote dev jobs, but man, my mind's going everywhere with it. So looks like I got one notification. Hopefully it's a good one. I'll save that real quick, and then yeah. So I just been checking out these different notifications, seeing what's going on, and got some unicorn here. So sweet. Yeah. So that's what I've kind of been doing today. My goal right now, I think, is I just need to grow an audience, and once I can have this audience kind of grown and have a few thousand followers, I think I'll start to feel out what I would want to do. Last night at like 3 a.m. I was up because I gotta stop doing it, but I wrote down, I have this like, did I write it down somewhere? I had an idea around basically like yeah, it was like 3 a.m. last night. Basically, like I wanted to. What I think was really cool about that thread is I shared all my these main tutorials that I remembered along my journey, and I think people really liked seeing those lists of tutorials. There was a lot of comments on those, a lot of likes on those, and I think that what could be cool is me kind of talking about the different projects I did and the different tutorials that I used as like future threads, and then from there, like selling a little PDF or product, basically just a PDF that has like all the tutorials that I've kind of almost ever taken, and tells them like my side project that I did along with those tutorials, so that they can kind of build alongside of it. So I actually should write that down, because I think yeah, I summarized my dev projects with the tutorial resources I did. Yeah, so I used go project by project, and I'm probably gonna I need to make this look a little, this is getting a little out of hand, but in time I'll clean this all up. I'll clean these up and write out kind of what each of these projects are, and then I can just sit here and like check them off. These are kind of like my things that if I need to just post something during the day because I just want to be consistent, I've got some ideas here too. So cool. And here's the thought around like remixing Big Fish's ideas. I think it's like powerful to remix Big Fish's ideas, but I think what's almost like the most powerful thing, like you can do this when you need to, and there's gonna be times where I have to do this too because I just can't tell an epic. We don't have time in a day to always have an epic, massive 3-year story to tell. So if you don't have that where you can tag people inside of your story and thank them almost, just remix basically like put together 5 people's ideas that are big within your industry or that you follow or whatever, and tag them in there. And sometimes they won't retweet it, other times they will, or they'll engage with it. And either way, you just do that enough, and they'll start to notice, and you hopefully get what like kind of Ryan Carson did there with follow. And I may even hit him up in DMs after this. I'll just hit him up right now. Where Ryan Carson. And then I'm gonna get off this sucker. Ryan Carson. Don't even know how to DM. So we've interacted the past yesterday and this morning. I just wanted to like give him like a thank you, and then offer him like, if you need someone to be like a reference, or what's the word? I do this all the time. Source.com. Be a reference? Be a reference. Let me change it to red. Oh, cool. They did a whole new thing. Reference. Testimonial. Yeah, testimonial. Thank you. I'm just going to do it super quick and just freaking get it out. Thank you for your support. Just say I'm always happy to do so. To do so anytime. Great. Cheers. Starting with like a kind of small and small is helpful, and just like you don't want to send them like a massive one-time thing. This is probably too big. I should put that up, but who cares? I think that if you're a founder, man, and someone offers you like, hey, this is a free testimonial, that could be really healthy and good. So I just want to stay on his mind, so when he sees me and I post another good one, like, and he if it's within him and for his following, he could retweet it and share it again, which would be awesome. So I just wanted to put it out there. Hopefully this is kind of a way to say thanks. I'm down to add value to your side of things. Have a great time. Cheers. That's all I'm saying. So super quick. All right, that's it. Have a great rest of your day. See you tomorrow. How do I get out of this freaking thing?